Hey everybody, Thacia here with Legacy of Flight in conjunction with One Love Wellness Center here in Nashville, Wisconsin, coming to you for one of my 365 days from my heart to yours. And we're doing If the Buddha Dated and doing chapter 15 today, and it's called Define What You Want. And I just wanted to, I guess, say a disclaimer because, partially we do want to define what we want, but also to have it broader and to leave that space open. Like I had talked in several past videos about, having this list of everything that I desired and finally having to come to this point where I, had all these things. I think it was an Abraham Hicks exercise. And so I had all these things or what I wanted. And then really what it came down to in the middle of it, to the core of it all, is that I wanted a healthy, loving relationship. And that was what my heart desired. And that I needed to let go of all these expectations that I had. And these needs that I had. And stick with my core value, which really was this healthy, loving relationship, and to allow then that relationship to unfold how it would, and without me placing judgments or stipulations upon that relationship. But not that I had this, but you don't have black hair, or there's certain things that we, maybe we do desire in a mate, but the things that we can, bend on, like, maybe do they play music? Is that something that's going to break a relationship if it's happy, if it's healthy, if it's loving, and maybe they just enjoy music? So, that's something definitely that you could bend on to and still find fulfillment and joy within that relationship. So, define what you want. Faith, hope, and love abide, these three. But the greatest of these is love. Follow after love and desire spiritual gifts. And that's from 2 Corinthians. Now that we looked at the levels of bonding, it's time to define what you want in a partner. We walk a subtle line, though, because while we need to have a clear sense of what's important to us, at another level, we need to remain open so we can make room for a good partner who doesn't arrive in a package we imagined. You thought a great lover had to have hair, but you meet a wonderful man who is bald. Or you wanted someone who is Jewish, but this lovely Catholic woman has you smitten, so vibrant, intelligent, and supportive of who you are. Or you didn't want someone with children, but these two young daughters of a man you just met are delightful, and you take pleasure in being with them. One woman placed a personal ad and received 3 responses that interested her. One mentioned his love of outdoor activities, hiking, canoeing, and camping. Another was involved in numerous community organizations that she admired. He also shared her outdoor interests. The third, whom she almost didn't call back, said, among other things, that he ran a motel. She couldn't imagine they'd be able to connect, but something about his voice on the taped message appealed to her. She met all 3, and guess what? She felt closest to the motel owner. He had inherited the business and enjoyed it because it gave him free time to pursue his own interests. He was generous in his service to the community, enjoyed outdoor activities, and most important, he had a kind, loving nature. When she could step back from her preconceived images into the experience she discovered, he was truly a pleasure to be with, and he turned out to be the one. So suggestions, it says, keep an open mind and allow yourself to be surprised. At the same time, remember your cherished values. So here's a summary of the ways people bond as discussed in chapter 13. So there's the number one, the physical and material, the looks, the status, the age, the education, the money. Number two, the intellect, the level of intelligence. Use intelligence and wisdom. Three, the interests, the hobbies, the work, the leisure time. Four, the values and lifestyle, religion, number of children, child-rearing beliefs. Number five, psychological or emotional, the capacity for intimacy, emotional maturity. Number six, creative passion, playfulness, talents, levels of energy, and joy. Number seven, spirituality, commitment to the path, integrity, and service. Number eight, essence, the ability to flow from love, truth, goodness, and power. So the following steps will help you create the description of the partner you desire. So the step one, without censoring yourself, under each of the above headlines, write everything that comes to mind that you would like in a partner. So be honest. If thin, good job, thick brown hair, no addictions come to mind, write them down. If you want someone who is highly intelligent, plays tennis, and the same religion or interest in hiking, say so. Take time to write down absolutely everything, and when you are done, read your list over and reflect on what you have written. So you can go ahead and stop it, do that if you want, or whatever you want to do. Step two, looking at your list, notice where your focus is. Is it on the material or interest level, or is it more towards the spiritual level? Is it spread throughout all the levels? If you're very concrete about your physical appearances and age, ask yourself why. What does it mean to you if your partner is thin? Why must you share an interest in golf? Why do you want a man with status? Why is it important for someone to be conscious of her spiritual journey? Go deep for the answers, and within those answers, just be honest and don't judge yourself. Just ask the why and then write the answer down, and form no opinion or judgment against yourself as to the whys and the answers that you do come up with the questions. Go down your list and rank each item from 1 to 3 based on the following. Crucial, non-negotiable. 2, desired but absolutely essential. And 3, nice but not really necessary. Number 4, based on what you have written, write a paragraph describing the person you want to meet. Include the values, the interests, the looks, or whatever comes to you. The purpose is only to describe the other person. Use as many as 50 words, but no more. Remember, the most people enjoy movies, eating out, cuddling, so be creative as possible of what you really do desire. So step 5, it says, now narrow down your list to less than 10 crucial words. Then 5. Then can you find one special word that transmits the essence of what you want? When Julia decided to place an ad that attracted a kind spirit, she wanted someone committed to the spiritual path, but didn't want to sound serious. The word Namaste came to mind. It's a Hindu greeting often used in spiritual gatherings, which means I salute the divinity in you. And it worked. A man who had never answered an ad glanced through the paper and felt a jolt when he saw the familiar greeting. It gave him the impetus to pick up the phone and respond. And then number 6, imagine spending time with the person you just described in your 50-word paragraph. Have you considered the values, the interests, the qualities you're looking for in this partner? And number 7, write a personal ads based on your list. You don't have to put it in the paper, and you might think of this as a practical version of your letter to the universe. Remember, whatever you do transmits a message. When you write your ad, be your most creative self. This exercise brings to mind a middle-aged couple I met at a B&W motorcycle rally. They presented a slide to show their 3-year trip traveling together around the world on one motorcycle. They obviously shared a great pleasure and adventure and showed amazing capacity to rest easy when they faced days of delay due to bureaucratic rules or mudslides on a road, and amazed at their ability to spend such extensive time together and seem so comfortable together, I asked them if they had met through the shared interest in biking. No, she replied with a laugh. She'd never been on a motorcycle. He was looking for someone with no children to travel around the world with him, and she got to know him, tried out being on a motorcycle, and decided to do it. This underscores the importance of being totally clear about what you want and being open to something new. He knew exactly what he wanted to do and that he wanted a mate to share the ride. She knew what she wanted in a human being and accepted a complete lifestyle change to be with him. So remember, be honest about what you're looking for. If it's someone to share a balloon ride, say so. If you want to hike the Appalachian Trail, live in a mountain hut, or in a classy apartment in the center of New York City, put it out there, no apologies. And if someone knocks on the door with a new idea, don't slam the door shut before you meet that person. So in these lists, in these descriptions, it's leave the broader picture. Put your desires like, I want to live, XYZ. These places, these are the things that I like to do, that I like to enjoy. I would like a partner that would like to go camping. I would like a partner that would like to go hunting. I would like a partner that would like to go fishing. Whatever it is, put these things. But also, like the motorcycle story, be open to when something comes into your life, to not just dismiss it because it is not like cookie cutter to this, list that we sometimes can make during these things when people are like, well, make a list of what you want, Well, they have to do this, and they have to do that, and they have to do this. No. Write the things you desire and the things you would like. And again, go through that list and prioritize. Is this something that I want to compromise on? And that can also help you, when if you aren't dating and you do start dating and you start dating someone and it is something that you don't want to compromise on, then it is okay to say, look, this is something that I choose not to compromise on. So I don't think that this is going to work between us. And that's okay, because then you're opening the door up for that other person to come in. Because sometimes people come in not to really test us, but to see, because we can work through any relationship. Is just like, what do we want to compromise? And if we send the message out that, no, this is something I don't want to compromise on, then the universe can open the door for that other person to come in. And maybe that other person wasn't ready 6 months ago to meet you. And maybe you weren't ready to meet them because you hadn't really fully decided if you were going to compromise on that issue or not. And so the universe was like, well, you never really said if you were going to compromise on that issue or not. So sometimes we just have to, we take little detours through other things. And every relationship is for, our highest good and the highest good of that other person. And we get to decide at each moment if we want to continue with this relationship or if this is just, some other part we needed to learn or something, that we are not willing to compromise. And it doesn't mean that that other person is bad or wrong. It just means that you choose something else, and that's okay. I think part of the reasons, in the relationships, why we end them so crazy is because we feel like we have to do that because we can't just possibly make the choice for something else because then, this has to be bad in order for me to try something else. And I think sometimes we get stuck in that place, like, of that thinking, and it doesn't serve anybody. And so we can let go of that thinking and make the choice. Or to make the choice that, what? This definitely is something that I could compromise and I would like to, because you have all these other points and things with this person that you do enjoy. And the one thing is, I can compromise that. I can change, I can let it go. And move on and find the things within your relationship that you do work with and that do go smoothly, and maybe cultivate those more. And, whatever it is that you had compromised on, then, maybe if it's a certain activity, just find somebody else to do that activity with. Like they were talking about golfing, like, whatever that activity is, let's just use golf for the sake of golf. But, are you gonna not date somebody because they don't like golf? Maybe it's that important to you. And if it is, that's cool. But if it's something that you can, compromise on, then, you can let that person know that, hey, golf is really important to me. So, once a week, or, maybe in the summer twice a week, whatever it is, I'm going to go golfing with my buddies. So it gives them also the opportunity to be like, okay, I can live with that because we're both being upfront, saying, yeah, I don't really like to golf, but you know what? I'm cool with you going twice a week with your friends. Like, I'm down with that. Or I'm not down with that. Whatever, then everybody within the situation has a chance to make the choice if they want to continue with that. And if we're just like upfront with everything and not worrying about, like, oh, if I tell them this now, like they might not want to do, X, Y, Z. But I think that, just be upfront with who you are. Because who you are is amazing, and if we keep settling on the things that we don't want to, and we keep compromising on the things that we don't want to, we're going to keep going through these same patterns and the same relationships till we stop, until we make the choice, like, what we want to compromise on and the things that we don't want to compromise on. And nobody's right or wrong for these. These are just the things that you want, that you desire. And that's totally cool. But give the other person the chance to make that decision as well. So it's a mutual thing, because then when we give each other the chance, then we can actually grow together. And it's not like one person against the other person. It's the two of you growing together mutually and being separate as well. Because, we are all one. We are all part of this existence, but each part of us is a different part of the divine expression. So, I'm not the same divine expression as you, just as you are not the same divine expression as me, but I love the part of the divine expression that's you, and I want you to be able to be you and enjoy you as you. So give that a go and just be open and allow yourself, as it says, to be surprised and to remember what your cherished values are. All right, guys, I love you, and I will chat with you later. Bye.